Welcome back to Project Blizzard. Michiana winters can have a lot of snow, but how much of that stuff actually needs to hit the ground for a storm to be classified a blizzard? You may remember just a few years ago, right around Christmas, we saw a blizzard in action. 50-mile-per-hour wind, sudden drops in temperature, and whiteout conditions. However, when does a snowstorm gain the title of blizzard? Let's bring in ABC 57 meteorologist Emmett Toomey to explain what's a blizzard.
What is a blizzard? When you hear that word, you may think of snow piling up quicker than it can be shoveled or plowed away. But the falling flakes aren't what makes a blizzard a blizzard. A blizzard is when one or both of the following winter storm situations happen for at least 3 hours. Winds or wind gusts of 35 miles per hour or greater, or low visibility, less than a quarter of a mile due to falling or blowing snow. And yes, that second phrase, the key word is falling or blowing. You can have blizzards without any snow actually falling during the blizzard warning. This is called a ground blizzard, the most common of which happen in the Midwest. Blizzards most commonly occur in two scenarios, the first of which is a lake effect band of snow. This won't impact all of Michiana. Some counties will see a blizzard warning, others won't. The more widespread option, though, is system snow. Whereas low pressure passes to our southeast, we're in that cyclone's northwestern quadrant, which is the coldest and snowiest, where almost all of our counties could likely see a blizzard warning. And blizzards are dangerous not only for the frostbite opportunities, but also for low visibility while you're driving. If you haven't already, now is the perfect time to make sure that your family has a winter storm survival kit in their car, just in case their vehicle ever breaks down during a blizzard. Things in that kit should include a warm blanket to make sure that you're staying warm, extra pairs of hats, socks, and sweatshirts, an ice scraper and snow scraper to keep your car clear, and a shovel to dig yourself out of whatever rut you may be in. Also make sure that you have a water bottle and extra snacks to stay prepared. With these simple precautionary steps, you can make sure that you and your family are prepared for any potential blizzards this winter season.
Not every snow you see is a blizzard. Actually, a lot of the snow that we see here in Michiana is known as lake effect snow. Spontaneous in nature, lake effect snow can spread across many counties in our area in a blink of an eye and end quickly or last for days. ABC 57 meteorologist Dave Caulfield is here to explain how lake effect snow forms. What happens over Lake Michigan for these blasts of snow to form?
Our winters can get pretty snowy here in Michiana, and sometimes that means a big snow system that affects all of Michiana can roll through. But other times, a special kind of snow makes its way into Michiana. That is lake effect snow. That's snow that is basically created by the lake. In this case, our friend Lake Michigan, right next door. Here's how this works. It starts with cool or cold wind over warmer water. In this case, that warmer water is Lake Michigan. Now, when we say warm water, we don't mean water that's warm enough to go swimming in. You wouldn't want to go swimming in this. We're talking about temperatures in the 30s and 40s at the warmest. So that is way too cold to go swimming in, but it just needs to be warmer than that cold air above it. That temperature difference creates rising motion. That rising motion helps create clouds and eventually snow. That snow can fall on land and create lots of impacts and potentially lots of snow. Now, it's very localized, which means that one street can get 6 or maybe even 12 inches of snow, and just down the road, they might not get barely any snow. And really, it all depends on what the wind direction is. If the wind is out of the north, spots like LaPorte County, Stark County, and Marshall County will get most of that snow. If you're in South Bend and you want a lot of snow, maybe a snow day in your future, then you want a northwest wind. That brings that snow into spots like South Bend, into Marshall County, and portions of Elkhart County. And if the wind is out of the west, most of our friends in Southwest Michigan get the snow, but typically Elkhart and South Bend can still get some snow in this scenario. So if you're thinking, hopefully it will snow, maybe you can count on Lake Michigan to provide that snow.
And possibly the most important part of winter, dressing the part. You obviously can't go outside at freezing temperatures with a t-shirt and shorts on. Have you thought about, though, the different kinds of clothes you should wear based on just how cold it is? Let's go to ABC 57 meteorologist Oliver Moster to tell you about the different kinds of outfits you should wear when it's cold and when it's frigid.
In the winter months, the thermometer could read one thing, but if the wind is blowing outside, it could feel a lot different. This is what we call wind chill, which is used to describe what it feels like outside when the wind is blowing. Here's how it works. Your body produces a layer of heat around you that wraps around you kind of like a blanket. But when the wind is blowing, that blanket gets disrupted. Let's take a look. First off, if it's 20 degrees outside and there's no wind, it's going to feel like 20 degrees because there isn't anything that's going to be breaking up that blanket that's around you. But if the wind does start to blow, let's say around 20 miles per hour, the feels like temperature is going to be dropping, potentially into the single digits, right around 4 degrees. The important thing to know is that if temperatures are reaching the single digits, you have to dress warm to stay safe in the colder months.
The big thing to remember for what to wear in the winter months is layering. For instance, if the outside temperature is above 30 degrees, you probably need to wear 3 layers. I've got on long pants, a sweatshirt, and of course, my coat. I also want to put on some boots so I can grip the slippery ground. As the air gets colder outside, the more layers and the thicker layers you need to wear. Remember, we want to keep that blanket of heat around our body as much as possible, so covering skin is very important. When the air starts to get colder into the 20s, we want to make sure that your coat is zipped and that you're wearing thicker gloves and a hat. I'm also going to put on my thick flannel-lined jeans just so that my legs are warm as well.
And once the air starts getting into the tens and single digits, just putting on gloves and zipping up the coat won't cut it. We need to go all out.
I'm wearing 2 pairs of socks, my waterproof boots, my snow pants, a long sleeve shirt, a sweater, and a coat. Topping off the outfit, I'm wearing a hat, thick gloves, and a scarf to make sure I'm not exposing my mouth and nose to the cold weather. When the temperatures get below zeros, make sure you are layering up and try to limit the amount of time you spend outdoors. If you follow these tips, you are sure to stay warm in these cold months.
A big change this season by the National Weather Service was simplifying winter alerts to keep you better informed on the coldest days. The message of these alerts: cold weather can be dangerous even if the wind isn't howling. Included in these changes are 3 new alerts to be issued on the coldest days in Michiana. To break these down for you, let's bring in ABC 57 meteorologist Kristen Tyler to tell you about the new cold weather alerts.
The National Weather Service has recently simplified cold weather alerts, making it easier for viewers to understand. The overall message of these alerts is simple: cold weather is dangerous even without the winds. Wind chill is how it feels outside with the presence of winds, but it does not have to be extremely windy for these alerts to be issued. There are 3 new alerts that you're going to see with cold weather. The first one is called the Extreme Cold Watch. This means get ready for wind chill temperatures to fall below -15 degrees or even reach -25 degrees. The next one is called Cold Weather Advisory. This advisory means temperatures have officially reached -15 degrees. And the last warning is the Extreme Cold Warning. This warning means that the air temperatures have the possibility to reach below -25 degrees. With these extreme temperatures, frostbite is a huge risk when you're outside in the cold. Your extremities, or your nose, your fingers, your toes, or your ears, are the most prone to frostbite. Frostbite can happen between 20 and 30 minutes of being outside in extreme cold weather. Frostbite develops when temperatures are underneath the freezing point, or 32 degrees. Frostbite is an injury caused by the freezing of the skin when prolonged to the cold air for too long. Your body cuts off circulation to your extremities to protect your inner organs. That is why they are affected first. A strong wind can blow heat away from your body, making you feel colder. Wind chill can contribute to hypothermia. Hypothermia is when your body temperature falls below 95 degrees. As we head further into the winter months, be on the lookout for these alerts on your ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather app. Count on your First Warning neighborhood weather team to bring you alerts to prepare you for the cold weather this season.
All this talk about what to do when it gets cold, but this year has actually been one of the warmest on record. Coming up after the break, what you can expect as we continue through another winter in Michiana.